legislation.
I call the honourable member Scott Simpson.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. As Chairman of the Justice and Electoral Select Committee, it's a great pleasure to stand and rise in support in the second reading of this criminal procedure legislation bill. The bill, as other speakers have indicated, contains a number of technical amendments required to ensure that the legislative intent of the Criminal Procedure Act 2011 is made clear and can be applied as intended. As Mr Little just mentioned in his presentation previously, the support for this piece of legislation at Select Committee was unanimous, and I'm delighted to report that the committee worked very well on its deliberations in regard to the bill. It is a good committee, Mr McIndoe, a very good committee. And I think it was a good example of how the Select Committee process can work to make for better legislation, and I want to thank members for their cooperation and support during the discussions that we had. So the bill contains these technical amendments to make for better operational efficiencies within our court system. And we heard, as others have mentioned, a very compelling submission from the New Zealand Law Society in relation to their concerns about the so-called Henry VIII clause. And it was a good result, Mr Speaker, that was removed from the draft of the bill, and I think we've got now a position on this piece of legislation that is going to be acceptable across the House. The government, Mr Speaker, believes that justice delayed is justice denied, and this bill will ensure that timely justice is delivered for victims, witnesses, defendants and our entire community. Currently our system is clogged and needs to be fixed, and these amendments and this piece of legislation will remedy that. I commend the bill to the House. It's a good piece of legislation and I support it.
I call the Honourable Leanne Dalzell.
Mr Speaker, when the Minister commented on this